One. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Susan Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jodi Suson. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Well, Grand Rising, everybody. This is Jodi Suson-Calhoun. Okay, I didn't do that right, because when my soul sisters from the other versions of the show, when they pronounce my name, they go Reverend Jodi Suson-Calhoun. Okay, so that's a wake-up call. We are talking today about healing is a dance, and I am so grateful to have my new friend who I met almost 1 year ago today, just a little shy. Her name is Jenn Chung Silverfyre, and she is going to talk about personal healing and how each one of our personal healing journeys are uniquely different. She says we are what time and effort and interaction slowly unveil. She is an inspirational speaker, teacher, energetic healer, and weaver of light. Her mission in life is to facilitate and stimulate spiritual growth and transformation. So I'm encouraging you today to call in to 515-605-9325 to ask questions or make a contribution. And I'll tell you why. This lady is my mentor. She showed up for me. So let her show up for you. Without further ado, let me bring in my friend Jenn. There's something funky going on with my articulation. It's like my words are jumbling. That is weird. Okay, we're gonna clear that. All right. Let me just get the computer back where it needs to be. And there you go. Hello. Like my words are jumbling this morning. I'm like, that's weird. So yes, I do. Okay, so let's um, clear the circuits. Okay, thank you. Are they cleared? Yes. Is there anything else that needs to be cleared for right now? No. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, that's really weird. Well, yeah, I had to time travel yesterday, so yeah, I'm sure circuits got crossed. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So you know, Jen, I met you in training for divine intervention, spontaneous remission. Um, there's so much to talk about that, but what brought you to? I mean, to spiritual healing. Did you? I'm just gonna like stop there. Go ahead. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, like you, I was taking on other people's energy, and I don't know if I had shared with you, I grew up with horses since I was a child, since I was like 7. And I do think that if I didn't have the horses, which are so healing, as you know, I would have been in a bad place. I mean, worse than what happened, right? Because horses are just, I feel they're here to help us harmonize our energy and to facilitate healing. So, um, so what I mean, like for me, I know that oh, my husband's already calling in. All right. Thank you, Andrew, for listening in. We see you on the switchboard. Sorry. Um, for me, I remember I didn't go to a psychic fair. My doctor, Dr. Michelle Kukla, who was the psychologist who I would I would effectively say led the team. that got me off of all the medications that I was on. I was on 19 different medications. Um, she is very much into healthy living, as that's the name of her counseling center. And she would hold these fears, health fears, and she actually even brought in rock stars to do singing on stage, right? And I forget what her name is, but I'll find it during the show because it was kind of fun. And I remember the very first time I explained to a woman it was a chiropractor at one of the tables about how I heard that the apartment that I was living was going on the auction block, like 2 days before it went on the auction block. And so I Googled it or researched it online because Spirit was telling me I had to move. And I'm like, but I'm on disability right now and funds are kind of tight. Yeah. And they're like, well, you still need to move. And so they said, look up your address. And I looked up my address and it was going up on the auction block 2 days. It was going up on the auction block in a couple of days. So it's interesting that, some people ignore this. And I think for you and I, we could not. And so I think that's something we might want to encourage people who are listening, that if there are some, we'll use a technical term because that's important, wonky things happening. If there's some wonky things, start asking questions, right? How has that shown up for you or people that you've coached? Well, I mean, so like I have stories of people who have like I have a client, and I've known her since the second grade, and I've always bought a certain item from her. I don't want to say what it is because then people would know who she is. And so she had issues with her skin, and she was going to go see an MD, which she consistently goes to see an MD and doesn't get results, right? So I said, and it's the middle of winter, I'll tell you what, because she couldn't decide whether or not she should see me. Like she doesn't fully understand what we do in terms of energetic healing. And I said, how about this? If you see a giraffe, like if you see a giraffe, that's your sign to come see me. If you see a butterfly, it's your sign to go see a doctor, like an MD. And she said, okay. She said, I'm not going to see a flipping giraffe, so that's fine with me. So she walks out the door and she's driving to, I think, Home Depot, and she went to TJ Maxx, billboards with a giraffe, TJ Maxx, giraffe, giraffe, giraffe. Now, I can't make that up, right? Yeah, so pay attention to your signs, right? And ask for the signs. Well, it's absolutely. I mean, my husband, many times has he has a question, right? And he has told me, yeah, and then the song came on the radio XYZ and it was exactly what I needed to hear, right? So, oh, and he wants to contribute. So hold on, I'm going to bring him on the call. So, okay, Andrew, we're bringing you on. You are live on
Great.
Blog Talk, Grand
Good to
Rising.
be live. Good morning. I've got just a few minutes before I stop my office and get working on something. But I wanted to share about just people who are thinking about the concept of intuition, or what do you actually hear spirit? And when you said there are some things that seem inconsequential, like thinking, I really wish I could hear some Rolling Stones. It would be really great. And you turn on the radio, and there it is, right there. Maybe those are little signs to let spirit letting you know, I'm here, I'm connected with you, and I'm going to show you ways that I'm here, ways that you can notice. Because lots of times, spirit's present with you all the time, but it's present and you don't recognize it because we can't see the path. We think that we should be able to see what we want in the end, vision that, but also see the steps on how to get there. And it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it's very, very zigzag route to get to the goal that you want. So we don't have to know. We can know the destination. We don't have to know the way to get there. And so these signs that you're talking about, which seem like trivial, which they might be, are just ways to ping back onto us to say, I'm here working with you. True. And things where I'm looking to, I'll give you an example from yesterday. I mean, it happens once you start seeing, and you both know this really well. Once you start looking for it, you'll see God's spirit present more often. So yesterday, I was talking to my boss, and I said I'd really. I worked with senior centers in Marietta as part of my outreach, and I thought I'd really like to be able to connect with more of the veterans groups. The senior centers in Marietta, Georgia, have some active veterans groups. So I thought that'd be a good start. And then my team member comes back several hours later and said, I don't know why, but I got suggested I go to the senior center, and I walked in there and I was talking about what we do, and this guy approached me and he says, I'm with a veterans group. I just heard what you were talking about with your primary care practice. It sounds like a really good fit for us. Would you guys come and speak to our group? And she didn't just happen to be there by chance. That was God putting her in the spot that I needed. The very same morning, I said, I wish I had a contact there. She comes back in the afternoon. Here's a contact. She said, I don't know how it happened. I'm just standing there. He walked up to me. Yeah, those things happen, and it's not by chance. So people should recognize when they say, gosh, I was lucky, not lucky, and be able to recognize that.
Yeah, Andrew, you can't see the screen, but I put up there, Andrew is a master manifester. I may have spelled it wrong, but that's what I wrote. So
well, it's good when that happens for sure. We need it's helpful when spirit steps in and just shows us that he's there or she's there all the time. Really gratifying.
Well, and here's the thing. So, spirit, I think what I want to just make sure that people hear is like you were manifesting a particular thing, which was a connection to the veterans, right? And it didn't have to go through you. It was brought to you by somebody you're connected to. Right.
Right. And then I will jump in there and make it make it bigger. And that the senior center is just one connection point. There are many others that we can help, because I love what I do, the new job that I'm working on, which is a primary care provider working only with people on Medicare. and it's Oak Street Health. It's growing really quickly all around the country, and I'm leading the opening of the Marietta location. But it's so I've got a mission that I feel very passionate about and fulfilling, and trying to be able to spread that out to as many people as I can. As both of you have a mission in your life, what you're working towards. This is a real mission-driven company, and I love to be making an impact on people's lives in the way that I can.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you. So if anybody who's listening is on Medicare and they live in Georgia, Oak Street Health is your place to go. They help you maximize your Medicare benefits without any additional out-of-pocket costs to you. Sorry, there's your commercial. So.
It's an awesome thing. It's incredible how many things we can do without any additional cost to people. And for people who are listeners in Chicago, we were founded in Chicago. That's where we started. So we have 177 offices around the country, starting from Chicago and kind of going east and south. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So I got to jump off the call because I'm getting to my office. I'm about ready to get out of the car. But I just wanted to chime in because I'm so passionate about what I do and what you two are delivering to the universe.
Thank you,
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Have a good rest of the show.
You too, honey. Have a good day. And that call's dropped. Good. So if you're listening, share with us where are you listening in from? Last week I had people from India, Chicago, Georgia, New York, from all over the world. So I'm curious where you're listening in from. And Jenn, you have your friend here. She's from Germany. Well, welcome. And how do I pronounce your friend's name? Solange. Well, Solange, I just want to welcome you to the show and thank you for listening in. And if you want to call into our show, that would be tough, actually. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I shouldn't make an assumption. If you have questions, you can post a question in the thread. Or people can call in at 515-605-9325 to ask questions of Jenn. And Berlin, Germany. So my husband actually was there when the wall came down. So in Berlin. So it's Germany is a very cool place. I have not been there, but I've seen the pictures and of course have lots of friends from Germany. It's a beautiful place. So what would you like to share talk to us about being a weaver of light? What does that mean? Mhm. So what does it mean though when you're traveling, you're creating grids for those who don't understand? What do you mean near future? What did I do last night? I'm just saying. Well, it's your spiritual self that's doing it just like mine. So when we got here, there was this house that we really wanted to buy. So this was, you know, almost 18 months ago, and I was really being called to the house. And I get there, and it was really the wrong neighborhood for me, but the house was calling us there because the land needed healing. And so so it's hopefully a good example that, um, we're here to heal the wounds of the past, not only for people, but the land actually holds that frequency, and we can infuse it with God's light, infuse it with love, and, infuse it with the ability to be adaptable versus holding on to something that doesn't serve it, like that. Uh, wait, how does a smile change someone's day? Explain the background on that, if you don't mind. Well, it's a frequency, right? Oh, sure. Right. Mhm. Mhm. And you know, right, and so I'll share, briefly though. So our since our bodies are made up of 70% water, right? And we already know we can affect water, with love or hate, right? Distinctly different frequencies, and they show up differently in the water. Then doesn't it make sense to become an effective communicator, right? So that you can share your feelings in a way that comes with ease and grace, right? Comes with love. Because, if you've ever seen, which I can bring it up again, but if you've seen water that's been yelled at or a plant, it's not pretty. And it's really not. It's actually, in some cases, demonic looking. And yeah. So if you are um, doing that, you're what I want people to understand, which is really what shifted how I started being, because I used to just yell. Okay. We can't do that, people. We have to shift our thinking. We have to shift our being because we're actually putting that negative energy into the cells of the person that you're yelling at, and we're actually damaging their cells. All Yeah, think about this. This is going back a long time. My husband a way long time ago, so it's not happening now. So, my husband and I are having a blowout fight over the bone broth that I'm cooking. Thank you, right? Because now it's poison, and I want people to understand that. So, if you're constantly arguing in your house, um, so once I figured that out, I'm like, "Pray on the food." Which you do need to do anyway. Um, you know, um, we need to go to commercial real quick. But this, I want to come back to this because, yeah, words have power, energy has power, and we have to be aware of the energy that we bring. Don't you agree? Yeah, so we can talk about that. We'll go to commercial real quick. And I encourage people, we've got people on all platforms here. We've got many platforms. So if you see me looking another way, that's because I'm managing a few platforms here. Um, but, please, please, please call in with your questions after commercial 515-605-9325. Give us your power, man. Not like give away your power, but give us your powerful questions. Okay? So that we can, keep this awesome conversation going. All right. Here, give me a second here. And um, there we go. And we are back, and we're so grateful that you're here and that you're contributing, that you're listening. And we have Reverend Jenn Chung Silverfyre. What a beautiful name, really, Silverfyre. Think about that. That's just amazing. It just rings, actually. Naima Latif, who is our executive producer of the show, she says, Grand Rising, beautiful spiritual teachers. I have plants in my house that reflect my moods daily. They droop when I'm sad and perk up when I'm happy, right? So frequency travels. And then she says, it's the same with people. We're affecting the people around us with our unspoken thoughts, both positive and negative. It's been a difficult lesson to teach people this, Naima, that they sometimes people don't understand that when they are, you know, not feeling well and angry, and and on top of that, they're quashing themselves, which is going to make it burst. like, just diffuse it by saying, hey, I'm not doing well. And the mere fact of sharing that and having the other person receive that message and them sending you love shifts that energy out. Just, I think. I mean, Jenn, what do you think? And it is critically important, Jenn, and I know you know this, I'm just stating it for the rest of the community, that we allow people to contribute to us. I know I had to learn that lesson back in 2001 after, 9/11, that yes, let's say I'm a giver, right? So I like to give to people. But it was what I didn't have my receiver on. So people couldn't contribute to me. So they felt less than. They felt like unempowered. They didn't feel good around me because, yeah, I'm giving, 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 but I'm not letting them give to me. And it feels like I'm rejecting them. Right. And so if we can open ourselves up to speak our truth to our partner, to our good friends, whoever you're comfortable with, we now are co-creating with the universe love, which expands exponentially. Yeah, I feel like Susan's here. Do you feel her? Because I've felt her since the beginning of the show. Yeah. So I just want to thank Susan Rossi for being here today. Thank you. I feel her. Mhm. Well, and the assumptions, spirits coming into me, they say talk about the assumptions we make about when we are hearing other people speak. Like we can either assume that people have our back, we can assume that they're trying to contribute in a way that uh, lifts your spirit, or we can assume that people cancel are out to get us and hurt us because we have a self-limiting belief, we have a pattern that has existed over time, and we're in that pattern and we're not releasing that pattern at this point in time. And so if you have this thought form that says, um, people are trying to harm me, well, then you're going to keep attracting that until we release that from your field of consciousness so that you can replace it with a pattern that's more empowering. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Are you in an abusive relationship, meaning negative self talk? It's an abusive relationship, right? Self abuse. I have a girlfriend of mine, um, uh, Debbie Pecos, Team Fireball out of Illinois. I had to think about, and she really teaches people about how we're really abusive to ourselves. Right? How do you get people to shift that? How do you get people to shift that negative self talk? Right. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think, and then, what happened for my husband and for me is like once you make that shift and you're no longer beating yourself up and you have the self-love and the self-confidence, like you exchange that, right? All of a sudden you're like, I don't even remember doing that anymore because it's not even in your consciousness. That concept of not being kind to yourself. Mhm, mhm. Oh, that's a deeper, okay, I do it a little differently, I like yours better. So, yeah. Well, because our disease is rooted in your thoughts. And so if you're continuing to beat yourself up, mhm, again, going back to, are you in an abusive relationship and you're your worst offender, right? Um, I would add to what you're saying, okay, yes, what are you grateful for? Love the things, love that you've got 5 things in general and 5 things about yourself with no repeats. I love, love, love that. I've always just done 3 in a journal or a gratitude jar, and then it kind of expounded where I felt like it didn't belong in a jar or a journal. So I started sending the gratitude to the people, like on Facebook, on LinkedIn, in a letter, in a note, in a conversation. So start where you're comfortable and let it expound. We don't really write gratitude anymore because we're constantly in the moment giving gratitude, that I'm not really called anymore to write it down. Now, if I get low vibration, you better believe I got the pen and paper out and I got, my jar, like, right away, or I'll find something to write. Um, uh, Andrea says, what a beautiful way to foster love and expand on your vibration. Yeah, thank you. Is Andrea your friend, or do you know Andrea? So, well, thank you, Andrea, for joining our show today. We're grateful to have you here. See, there you go. Great gratitude, right? And we have another caller at 312-671 on Blog Talk. So we're going to pick up the call for you. I will say that you can watch this show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Blog Talk, and Podbean live. And then you can watch the replay everywhere you watch your podcast, just about. I mean, like Spotify, Audible, Apple, you name it. So we're going to bring on 312-671, and you get to ask your question. So Grand Rising, and this is Jodi Suson of Cell Care. What's your name, and where are you calling from?
Well, and shalom, Grand Rising to you, Jodi, and your guest too. This is Minister Robert Floyd Plump from Chicago. You know, there's basically three types of people that you're speaking about, and those are giving people, receiving people, and plus healing people. And thank God for the female solution. And I just want to share a few ideas and to see. Did you know about healing equals to 23, Jodi?
Healing equals to 23? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am. Just like, right. So, and V equals to 23, which means abundance of blessings. You know, God is good and the greatest. He woke us up today, so I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise because I have PMA in my mind all the time.
Yes, you
do. So today is the greatest day of a brand new beginning in my life, and that's because it's Tuesday. And you're talking about self. And self, each person have a healing in them. Each person have music in them, and I do music. And I promote the world's greatest music. Is just like I promote the world's greatest movie. In the future would be, that's the name of the movie. And Mayor Harold Lee Washington named the movie called The Greatest Good Movie. And he also said we must pump the whole community. And that is also in peace, love, unity, marketing people. The 5-letter words I think about every day is peace, love, unity, marketing people. And
that is your name, Plump.
Yes, Plump. You know, Plump when you cook them, a commercial.
There you go.
That's what. Yeah, it is. You know, life is real. So I'm thankful that I could call in today. When I happen to call in, I know we in it to win. I call in at exactly or came in on the station of the talk program 7:27 a.m. today. And today is the greatest day of a brand new beginning because it's a unity day, which is Tuesday. Did you know Tuesday is a unity day?
So I was not aware. Jen, are you aware? No, I did not.
Yes.
So I've not heard that Tuesday is a unity day. I'm looking that up.
Yeah, well, this is a day. When I say Unity Day, it's it got the UN Tuesday, and then you got the and then you got another Unity Day, which is known as the best business days of the week, and that's Thursday. So I'm a student for life.
Well, wait,
and
Minister Plump,
I love the female solution.
Minister Plump, I'm going to interrupt and just say this. So, because I decided to look up the Day of Unity, and this year it's on my birthday, October 18th. So I'm just saying.
Well, that's good. That's fantastic. And then too, mine is on November the 18th. So, and it's also when we say Tuesday or Thursday, it's a day of divinity. It's 9. Nine is spiritual all the time. So, to create more information, people can go to plumpfoundation.org. Thank you.
You're
God bless
welcome,
you.
Minister Plump. And thank you for calling into the show. We appreciate you listening in and contributing every week. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So
God bless you.
God bless you. So we have Vieta Robinson. Just trying to get this up there. Hold on a second. So we have Vieta Robinson. She is another female solution host. She is on Fridays and Sundays. And she's a holistic life coach. And she and I will be at the Holistic Lifestyle Conference at the end of this month, May 31st through June 4th. And if you are in the Orlando, Florida area, I encourage you to register for the Holistic Lifestyle Conference. I will be speaking on May 31st. I think it's at 3:00 in the afternoon, 3 or 4. I think it's 3. On shifting your mindset around health and how to lose the stress. So, and it's pretty all inclusive. So I think I'm going to have to talk fast on stage, just saying. I'm like, and done, right? So it is 8:59. And I'm going to go to a quick commercial. Please get your cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, hang and listen to the commercial. Join us right back. Bring on your questions, please, for Jenn. And you can call into the show, just like Minister Plump did and my husband at 515-605-9325 and ask your questions or make a contribution. So we're just going to quick go to, and actually I'm going to run I'm not really good at working the Blog Talk switchboard, but we have commercials from my sisters from another mister, which, Zelda Robinson, who has our Monday show. Naeem Latif is on Wednesday. And if I can figure this out, I will press the right button in a moment. Or maybe not. Hold on a second here. This is why I don't really play. Here we go. But this is why I usually don't play the ads on Blog Talk because I can never figure this out. But here we go. I got one.
I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Beata.
Oh, there's the other one.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week Hosts John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch the Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. And other cities, check your local cable listings.
Okay, well, we are back. We have Chris who joined us this morning. Good morning, Chris. And Zelda, good morning. Thank you for being here. We appreciate everybody joining in. If you guys have questions or want to call in, looks like I'm not sure if this is the same number. Is that the same number? Yes. Okay, it's the same number, still Mr. Plums. But you can call into the show with your questions. I want to go back to, you were saying earlier, Jenn, how we are all healers. And how is it that someone could potentially step into or start recognizing how they're contributing to the well-being, healing of others? We talked about, sending the smile, sending love. What happens when you know that? I mean, like, I've learned this from you. I've learned this from others as well. Someone disappoints you, right? They're supposed to show up a certain way or a certain time, and they don't. Do you send them anger, or what do you send them? It's a setup. Mm-hmm. Right. Completely. I'm typing it in for you. What did I do that magnetized and drew that interaction or experience to me, to my field? Thank you. More of that. Way more of that. And actually, I was explaining this to someone the other day that do I have permission to use the example that happened in class with you and I? It was my issue that you showed up for me. Yeah, that was my issue. So I about attracting into our field, right? And we attract into our field also things that need healing because they're a repeated pattern. And I had a pattern with my sister, and you are nothing like my sister. Like, you don't know my sister, but you're nothing like her. Okay. Not at all. And you showed up for me like my sister, and I got pissed at you. You remember? And it was an opportunity for me to clear that energy, clear that frequency. So I didn't have to hold on to resentment. I didn't have to hold on to anger. I didn't have to hold on to, hey, I'm being judged, right? And that's not who you are at all. And then you showed up for me like that in an effort. And I don't think you even did it consciously. It's what you were here to do for me. And so so that I could release it. And the outcome is, oh, who would freaking believe it? I'm now in relationship with my sister, right? So if we can shift our thinking that, oh, Jenn's a bad person, she was doing this. No, Jenn's showing up for you. I don't know, I didn't know Jenn at the time. Jenn showed up for me so I could clear something. So I have a client, and that client has a new role, and 5 of her direct reports all showed up as versions of her old self. Right? And so it was like a test, or of a litmus test, if you will, from the universe saying, are you really clear with this? Are you clear with this frequency? Because if you're clear, we can get rid of it now. Right? And so it grew that person, right? Exponentially. So if we shift our thinking from they're doing it to me to they're doing it for me, it's showing up for me as a gift from the universe so we can clear what doesn't serve us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like I it's so funny. My husband and I go to I think it's called the Strand in Marietta Square, and we've seen these are cover bands, but Van Halen cover band, Chicago cover band. And I know that we need to be there at a certain time, but I'm always kind of working on cloud time, meaning the universal time. And right, I'm not really watching the watch anymore. I just don't. And I mean, I do as best I can. I mean, like the show has to start at a certain time, so I make sure that I'm on right for that. And he was always worried about getting a good seat. And each time, we not only we got the best seat, smack dab in the middle of the theater and in the middle of the row, perfect in the stage. And we got there 2 minutes before start time because the seat's waiting for us. I just co-created. you know so my point being, you can co-create with the universe whatever it is that you want to bring into your field. So co-create something really cool, right? I want to ask questions of our audience. What is it that you have co-created with the universe that you want to share, that you're proud of? Oh, I love. Hi, Carlos. I love Carlos. He's amazing. And thank you for showing up. And I love what he's sharing because we do need to talk about it. Um, um, but before we do that, I just want to go back to Andrea. She says, hard pill to swallow. Thank you for the reminder, forgiveness of others and self. So, Andrea, hard pill to swallow. Shift the thinking to easy button. Like it's easy, it's so much easier to love on people. And for when we hold on to anger, we hold on to resentment, it actually takes more energy. And one of the things that I've learned to do is to keep giving it to God. Like it's not mine to carry. Do you want to add to that, Jenn? Well, you suffer, right? I mean, if we're carrying it ourselves, now we're suffering. So if you like suffering, carry it. If you don't like suffering, give it to spirit, right? It's kind of like the easy button. So if you're struggling with easy, post that on your refrigerator door, post it on your computer, post it somewhere, keep it on your phone screen. Easy, easy, easy. We can step out of the struggle and step into easy. And imagery is amazing because you want to keep on imagining easy and the easy button. Want to add to that? I'm with you. All right, so we've got a lot of people here. So we welcome Chris. She says, "Where the mind goes, energy flows." Carlos, I can never say this. Can you say it? Honoponopono. Thank you. You want to explain what that is? Mhm. Okay, so that kind of, yeah, we'll just leave that there for a minute. Go ahead. Huge, right? Very, very huge. To recognize, I just want to pause on that one just because I want people to really hear that. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize when I'm triggered and feel that emotion, feel that trigger, and then give it away. Give it to God. Mhm. Right? 'Cause if it doesn't serve you, you certainly don't need it in your field. And it may have served you at one point in time to keep yourself protected from something. You know, I can't speak to that, but it's in the energy and frequency that we're in now, you know, it's not gonna work in this, it's not gonna work in this environment. Yeah. Mm. Mhm. 528. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I went from, when I would be mad at someone or they disappointed me, I had this expectation, to being angry with them, to just shifting and sending love. Like the other day, the plumber that's supposed to show up and install our whole house water filtration system didn't call and didn't show. And I immediately went to, I hope he's okay, send him love and grace. Now, the old version of me would have been different. But I also believe in divine timing. I mean, the divine has an idea about who's supposed to be here for me,
Yes.
and it wasn't that person. So I'm okay with that. Like say, thank you. Really thank you, because I don't know who it is, but it's going to be pretty amazing. So, oh, let's do that, shall we? Well, and it's interesting though, I'm on Medicare because I was disabled for 4 years. Now, I actually don't use it because I don't see doctors because we do our own healing. However, I wanna tell you something. When I think about, and I've known about Oak Street Health way before Andrew, because when I was the chairperson for the American Diabetes Association back in 2018 for the expo, they were my client. Like they were, I think they were in business maybe a few years. And so they were one of our expo clients. And so they are really demonstrating servant leadership. And, while I don't necessarily love Western medication or Western methodologies, the cool thing about what they do is they bring in speakers like you and I, and like, just other people in preventive health or holistic health, to speak about how do you stay healthy and out of the hospital. So they're actually investing in their patients, in educating them about nutrition, and all the things that many other companies are poo-pooing, right? I mean, so they have taken what could have been a low vibration experience, Medicare, and they're raising the bar. So I'm all behind this company. Like, cuz some people are always just going to be in Western medicine, right? But when Western medicine opens the door for holistic health and they're getting paid for it, well, hunky dory to me. I mean, I love that. Like, and to me that's high vibration. So I'm kind of excited. We have so many comments in here. They're rolling off the page. Should we share what other people said, or okay. So Andrea, or Nate, or Nilis, or no, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but thank you. She says my living situation and my current romantic relationship. Oh, forgive me. What's hard to swallow? Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, if you haven't already shared more about that, and if you're comfortable, feel free to share more. Um, Deborah Smith, she says, forgive and to heal your own self. Right. So, exactly. And Deborah is Travel Around with Deborah, and she's on, uh, I think, one Saturday or two Saturdays a month on the Female Solution. And thank you for being here, Deborah. We love you. Um, And Andrea says it can be easy and fun. Absolutely, right? You want to be led by your joy guide. And Chris says, I decided I don't like to walk around feeling miserable. Once that decision was made, it became easier to put various situations in love instead of anger or hurt. Good job. So Bipa says, once I got the advice to ask God to help you to love the person you can't forgive in the same way that God loves. Vera, that's what I see here. She says, my name is Vera, still Russian nickname. Well, thank you for being here, Vera. We're grateful to have you here and that you're joining in and contributing. We love it when people contribute. Well, yeah, because I feel like when we can't love someone how they are, we have a block ourselves. So it's our block, not theirs. Yeah. And yes, thank you, Vera. And Teddy, she says, when I first open my eyes to wake up, I consciously say thank you for another chance above ground. It's a great way to start the day. Gratitude. Well done, Teddy. And Chris says, heal ourselves within and it changes our reality. So grateful we had the ability to do this. Yeah, it's really cool. It's with my recent health journey, I mean, with the, I have two significant ones, but the last one with the electromagnetic frequencies, I had to do a lot of self-healing. But you don't want to negate the partners in healing. So I saw my chiropractor, so I had my acupuncturist who helped me with diagnosis on the front end. And then Dr. Wade Port, saw him yesterday because I couldn't figure out why the heel still hasn't healed. There's like this significant pain. And, you want to leverage their knowledge and their ability to hear from spirit, which you can't hear because he's a spiritual chiropractor. And then you can still go back and do your self-healing or let them contribute to your healing so we're here in community to do this together, right? Joy. Hi, Joy. Thank you for being here. I always love having you here. She says, Grand Rising all, peace and gratitude. Absolutely true. We need to shift from what we have been taught. You have to suffer. Ooh, cancel, 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 right? Happy to learn that easy is available and is a mind-shifting event. Thank you. Scriptures support that, but scriptures support that, but we have to lend our ears to the voices outside of us. Matt 11:30. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Thank you. Yeah, I think when we shift our thinking, which is operating in the DK zone. Are you familiar with the DK zone? So the DK zone is something I learned out of my training in landmark education in 1989. And you draw this pie chart, right? And there's three parts of the pie. And the little sliver of the pie, let's say it's like, this big, is what you know that you know. Like for me, I know that I'm wearing a white, cover up or a shirt or whatever. I know that my glasses are red, and there's no denying what I know. And then I know what I don't know. I know what I don't know, meaning I know I'm not an airline pilot. I know that I'm not a brain surgeon, right? I know that to be true. So those are two little slivers in this big pie. And then you've got the rest of the pie. That's the DK zone, which you don't know that you don't know, which allows for the shift in your thinking. So when you can live out of the DK zone, you then are priming yourself for great growth. It can be stated, I think, either way. You can live in the DK zone, meaning being open. And I also say living out of that, meaning manifesting, like living out your life. It's words and be interpreted different ways. But basically, it's living your life in a way that allows you to be open to something new so you can manifest your greatest self. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, um, choose the phrase you like. I'm cool. Um, ah, Zelda from the Higher Learning Network TV show says his no-show was a great lesson, wasn't it? Lessons often come in strange forms, but it's always right on time. Yeah, and I don't even know what the lesson is yet. I don't know what the gift is yet, but I'm cool with it. Like I just like the old me would have worried, been mad, but like I'm cool. Andrea, does divine timing work on the opposite side as well? In other words, when something arrives when you least expect it. Go ahead, Jen. Because it's the divine. So divine timing is about in God's timing, meaning God really controls all things. We do have free will. Um, I, you know, I think for the most part, not all. Not. I don't think I'm there yet. Um, I really just give everything to God. Like I surrender. And when you stop pushing on something that's not meant for you, I mean, all that is a struggle with the universe. So if it's not supposed to be there, let it go. If it's meant, oh, okay, Jen, take the show for a second. I'm going to bring in a picture because it was my life lesson that my mom gave me as a child, and I'm going to bring it in. So talk about divine timing, all right, if you don't mind, and I'll be right back. Girls need too. Right? Well, actually, it makes a lot of sense. And I'm so glad you brought this up because how you feel. Jen, I think a lot of people have turned off their feelings and they're not allowing the signal of how they feel to come through. I've noticed this because someone said, well, how do I feel? And they'll give descriptive words that are not feelings, you know? And so I'm like, okay, well, that's not a feeling, you know? Let's go back and try a feeling, you know? Mhm. Mad, glad, sad, and scared. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So, I want to go back to like what we're manifesting, what we're trying to control. And my mom gave me this picture. I'll read it. It's Raggedy Ann and Andy. And I got it when I was a child and it was in a much different frame in the 60s. Okay. So, and it says, and if it says, if you love something very, very much, let it go free. If it does not come back, it was never meant to be yours. But if it does, love it forever. Meaning, we have to surrender to the universe, and we can't make someone like us. We can't make someone love us. We can't make someone anything. It's not ours to control, right? And so what she was really teaching me from a young age is the power of surrender, you know. And this is Fagala. She says, "Hello, mommy." She says, "Hello, universe." She's happy. She says, "You look a little different in this dimension." So we did raspberries on her last show. It was silly. So Andrea, I hope and everyone, I hope that that helps. Vieta says she is grateful to live in Florida with beautiful beaches, warm weather most of the year, trees, and nature. Grateful for my small, low maintenance home, which is beautiful. I've seen it. Two beautiful grandchildren, a healthy mind, body, and powerful soul energy, and new partnership with two male souls who came through my womb. That's nice. Yeah. And, Vieta, I'm grateful to have you as my friend and soul sister, and I can't wait to see you again at the end of the month. So she and I are doing the Holistic Lifestyle Conference together with my friend Rajai Kaldani. Um, and do you have a message today? You do. Yes. So it's the message she first came on with the show when we first started the show 2 years ago. it's start with heart, and that's when I started realizing when I took a picture of her, this is her breastbone. When I took the picture, Spirit split the feathers down the chest bone, showing heart, right? It's cool. I've got the picture. And that's when I started realizing that she was a magical creature. She's a griffin. And that she's here to serve us, to help educate us, to enlighten us, and help us grow spiritually. And she's really about being the love that you want to see in the world. And I'm so grateful to have you here. I love you. All right. And Chris says, Andrea, once you notice it in your life, you'll start seeing it everywhere, in part because it brings such joy. Nice. Yes, I agree. Thank you, Chris. And yes, Fagla has her own following. She says, Zelda says, from the Higher Learning Network TV show, you can watch her on Mondays. And she also has the teen contest where she empowers young women, young teenagers, and women and men, I believe. I'm sorry. She says, Fagala, yeah, hi from the Windy City. She says, you can stay there. She goes, I'm not going back to the Windy City. It's too cold and windy. Mm. Now, do you know why the Windy City is called the Windy City? No. Because of the politicians, right, that never stop talking. That's what they're referring to. Mm-mm. So I learned that in not in high school, at undergrad at DePaul University when we studied Chicago history. So, and Andrea says, "Thank you, Chris." We did not do our 9:30 commercial, so I'm going to do a quick commercial, um, and then if you have questions that you want to ask or share. I love the community that we've created here today. So grateful that everybody's, here sharing your heart. That takes courage to step into who you are. So, all right, let me just do that. So, Fagla, while we were on commercial, shared that I should share this about myself. So, when, and this is, it's actually recently just shifted. Um, so most people who are listening in, not all, know that I was disabled for almost 4 years, which is why I do this show, to provide a free service through the show to educate people about how they can reclaim their health, because it's mind, body, spirit. And that's why we bring on people like you, Jenn, who really understand how to shift mindset, co-create with the universe. We bring on, other types of health practitioners, and everybody contributes their gift. And because I was disabled and not able to do for myself, when I got married and even just started dating my husband, I wouldn't let him do for me. Let that sink with you guys for a minute. He's my husband, and I'm resenting him because he wants to contribute. And I'm like, no, I'll do it myself. Because I didn't want to be reminded of being disabled. It wasn't about him. It's about me. So I pulled it out of my field. Right? But what I'm trying to say is that letting people contribute to you is really a huge part of the love and the give and take in relationship. So we have to allow people to give to us and not resent them for that. It's not his fault that I was disabled for almost 4 years. Why should I be mad at him? Right? Get over it. Anything else, or are we good? She says, did I say take? Thank you for correcting me. Really, because it's not about taking, it is about receiving. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because that's huge. Yeah, we absolutely need to receive versus take, and you taught me that, and apparently I still haven't changed my language, so I'm going to go back and listen to the show and listen to where I said that, because it is received. Taking is masculine, and we don't want to take from people. We want to allow them to give and be a space to receive and give back. So, um, Zelda, back to the politicians in the Windy City. Uh, Blowing hot air is what politicians do. Yetta. Also, I grew up in Chicago and Lake Michigan. Winds contributed to the title Windy City, which then the winds became known as the Hawk. So I don't know what that means. How does the winds become known as the Hawk? Do you know, Jenn, or not? Me neither. Oh yeah, Chris. So Jenn, you're always teaching people that. I mean, that just always seems to show up for you because you are the epitome of the feminine. And I mean that all the beautiful ways in which you can receive that. So yeah. You are the epitome of what it means to be feminine. And I love that about you. And I was forced because of my situation as a kid to really become masculine. And I'm done with it. I give it to God. I'm wearing my skirt today. My dress, I went back to flowy, you know. No more, I mean, not no more structured things. I may have some structured things, but harmonize it. I just never happened. Whatever the productive things are, right? Yeah, and back to the title, healing is a dance, right? Um, and she says Lou Rawls, who mentioned it in his song to Dead End Street, the hawk, the Almighty hawk, the wind in Chicago. The hawk not only socks it to you, he socks it through you. Well, Vieta, I used to work for the ATM and online debit network cash station in Chicago, where we launched, online point of sale. And I took the train in, and I walked from the train to Lake Michigan because we were on Randolph and Lake Michigan, like right at the Lakeshore Drive is where our office was. And yes, the wind does sock it through you because it is cold. And that is why we're living in Georgia. Just saying, we don't like it over there. We like it over here. Um, Back to the divine, feminine, and masculine. My husband and I have, and I think it's still a dance, learning to leverage his softer side when we need his softer side, my harder side when we need my harder side, because it's easier with certain situations. Um, and like you said, we don't have to give it up. We just have to harmonize and let it work for us, not against us. Right. And you have something you want to say. She says, we can all be more gentle with one another. Okay, so I'm going to call you on your shit. Okay. I get, yes, we need to be gentle. But when I got you out of bed this morning, you were literally standing on top of Tinkerbell, like you were quashing her. So I'm like, she's got one leg here, and I'm like, she straddled her, and Tinker's like, I'm just trying to sleep. So was that gentle? She goes, it was as gentle as I could be. I'm trying to get out. You are so funny. Because she's like, I have to go get mom.
90
she's like,
seconds.
boom, boom, right over Tinkerbell. Okay. Fine, masculine. Vienna says her too. Yeah, Chicago is unforgettable. I'll tell you that. And Solange says, "Dears, thanks for this interesting podcast. Unfortunately, I got to go. We do too. So thank you everyone for being here today. Um, Anything to add, Jen? We need to show people how to get in
60
touch
seconds.
with you. So let me actually, can you type that in the private chat? I'm going to display it. And then I would like, I don't think I have any plans this Saturday. So I'm actually going to join you in Piedmont Park at 2:00 for that. Um, and That sounds like fun. But if you type in all the information in the chat, which looks like you already have
10 seconds.
you know, I will put this, and then can you put the event in? Okay. And then I'm going to put in the other information. And I also, okay, here to love.net. Let me go here. So we've got Weaving Lux. Okay, it's also in the thread. And then here to love.net. Do you want to talk for a minute about Here to Love? You got an extra minute you want to share with those who are still here? And who is Here to Love, Jenn? Really? And who is Carlos? Really? I got chills, you know that. I just had to ask. So, so, so my husband and I will be there unless he has plans for me that I'm not aware of. So go to heretolove.net and that's where you'll find the event. So let me just do this. Here, oh, because I spelled it wrong. So here to love.net. I just want to, there we go. And then I also want to do Weaving Lux. I was just having so much fun being present with you. I forgot to do this. I apologize. Weaving Lux, right? .net or com? Okay. Okay. So let's just show people what they need to see, shall we? Okay, everybody. So this is Jenn's site, right? So you can reach her here, and then her beloved's site, Carlos, is I'm coming up with that. Promoting love always. And it looks like, let me see. I'm looking for the event, honey. Oh, events. Here we go. So here's events. So what I'm going to encourage you, if you do, but you can also find it on Meetup. So they can go to one of those places and then, and I'm not really Meetup, like I'm not really good at navigating Meetup, but a person would then look at Here to Love. Okay, on Meetup. So, okay. And all right. So that's awesome. And so I do encourage you to connect with Jenn. I guess sometimes um, we forget to put that out there, but I know that my followers will always reach out and make sure that they get connected to who they need to get connected to. So have no fear, right? Right. And thank you, everybody. We're really grateful for all of you being here. And Jenn, why don't you hold on while we end the broadcast? And let me just do this. Oh, sorry. What's that? Thank you, everyone. And hold on.